Did Pixar really copy the Little Mermaid story in Luca?
It's hard to say.
On the surface, or should we say under the sea, both Luca and Ariel are fascinated by the world above the water. They see the humans moving around and going about their business, and they want to experience a bit of it too. Despite being told by their respective parents that life is better down where it's wetter, they still want to find out for themselves if it's actually true. They want to see what's out there beyond their daily lives. Naturally, when they arrive on land, they feel overwhelmed, and it's pretty funny to see them trying to adapt to their surroundings. It's the literal embodiment of a fish out of water. Even so, both Luca and The Little Mermaid are stories about exploration and stepping outside of one's comfort zone to find out what's out there. Neither of their lives was horrible or terrible to begin with, and they could have easily just stayed where they were, but they craved a sense of wonder and adventure, and to see more of the world and its infinite possibilities.
I don't see how a world that makes such wonderful things could be bad.
So, in this instance, you could say that both tales followed a similar theme here, but that isn't the only similarity between these animated flicks. In fact, there's another that's sprinkled throughout both the narratives in a big way, and that's how these stories are all about acceptance and embracing differences. Look, let's be honest here. If a sea creature popped out of the water and wanted to be someone's friend, most people would run the other way just out of total fear.
Whoa, don't look at it.
However, Ariel and Luca remind us that it's okay to be different, and this is what makes everyone so unique and special in the first place. Through their journeys, we discover that there are good people in the world who are more than happy to accept others, even if they look and act differently than us. Undoubtedly, this theme is a metaphor for inclusion and diversity, which have become hugely important talking points in our society. The beauty is that these types of films become blueprints of how people can do better and be better to each other. And if we can learn something essential and be entertained at the same time, isn't that like the ultimate win-win scenario? However, there is one specific area where The Little Mermaid and Luca differ almost entirely. For Ariel, she finally becomes part of the human world because she wants to marry Eric. Her reasons for wanting to leave the sea life behind are because of love. For Luca, however, it's ultimately about friendship. Even though he has Alberto, he still develops a strong bond with Julia and wants to attend school with her in Genoa. Of course, this means that a romance could still blossom between them at a later point, but Luca and Julia are still very young. So it's only natural that any love subplot was removed from the movie altogether. And truth be told, there's something earnest and sweet about this dynamic that you don't find in many films nowadays. Friendship is incredibly powerful, and it is something that could inspire people to change their lives altogether. Sure, Ariel also had her friends like Sebastian and Flounder to keep her company, but her story was always more about matters of the heart. And isn't it nice to see something a little different in Luca? Also, you can't really compare the villains in either movie. In The Little Mermaid, Ursula the Sea Witch became one of the most iconic Disney characters of all time. And when we talk about being bad, dang, she made Jafar from Aladdin look like Santa Claus in comparison. Not only was she deceitful and sneaky to get the trident, but she was also a dangerous and physical presence when she turned into a monstrous size. In short, she ticked all the boxes of what you'd want in a villain. On the flip side, Luca's main villain was Ercole.
Go start a club for losers.
Yeah, he was a bully and a bit of an arrogant blowhard, but he wasn't quite in the same villainous league as Ursula. He did some nasty things and generally behaved like one unpleasant dude, but you wouldn't exactly term him evil. Just more of an irritation or nuisance, really. Fortunately for him, he didn't experience the same fate as Ursula, who ended up being impaled in the final act. Yikes! Who says that Disney movies are all just rainbows and sunshine? Because that was one serious dark ending, even for a villain. Keeping in mind everything that's just been covered, do you still think that Luca is a modern-day version of The Little Mermaid? Undoubtedly, there is an overlap in the themes and even the behavior of some of the characters. However, the same could be said of many Disney and Pixar films, as many things are repackaged and released slightly differently. In Luca's case, though, the film is more of a tribute to Italian culture and the regional myths and folklore. If you go down the rabbit hole and find out more about the movie, you'll see why the filmmakers did what they did and where they got the specific inspirations from. There are also homages to different art styles and even artists throughout the entire movie, while The Little Mermaid was more typical of the Disney film style of the era. So yes, while there are several obvious similarities between the two animated movies, there's still enough to distinguish them and make them stand out individually. Hey, maybe a double feature of Luca and The Little Mermaid doesn't sound like a bad idea right now. While we're on the topic of Disney, how about finding out more about the beautiful pooches from Cruella and where CGI was used to make them come to life? And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for some more awesome videos. Thanks for watching.